I started photography on an iPhone, believe it or not, as I'm sure most people have. The first camera was on my phone, in my pocket, the camera that I had on me all the time, so I sort of found my love for photography through just walking around taking photos, you know, in the city, out wherever I happened to be that day. Just found myself getting creative, and from there I sort of decided I'd pick up a DSLR and start experimenting a bit more with landscapes, and it all went from there, I guess. So my gear currently is a Canon 6D Mark II. I've got a couple of lenses. So my primary lens is the 2470 2.8, which is a lens I use for the majority of my landscape shots, some of my portrait lifestyle stuff as well, which is really good with the shallow depth of field. I also have a DJI Mavic drone, which is the only drone I use for my aerials. It's a really awesome portable piece of kit, which I love to take with me everywhere. I like to photograph predominantly landscapes, but that can include anything from surf, sky, sunsets, sunrises, long exposures. I do a bit of urban cityscapes, basically anything that I can get creative with that is my surroundings. So I really like to just explore what's around. My shoot bucket list would have to involve leaving Australia and going overseas. So I'd love to explore Southeast Asia, Japan. Yeah, I mean I've only done New Zealand and that was amazing. I'd love to get back there because I definitely was a lot of spots that I skipped in my short week there. Yeah.
Where'd you go in New Zealand?
Just this whole South Island basically, so Milford Sound, Mount Cook, all the usual spots. No, it's amazing. Most memorable shoot. So earlier this year I had a pretty epic trip. We drove from Sydney to Adelaide and back in a car that we had provided by Lexus for a job. We were shooting with the Lexus for 2 weeks on a pretty long road trip. We got literally like a year's worth of content in that 2 weeks. Pretty much 21 sunsets and sunrises in a row, mountain climbs, drone shots, you know, forests, beaches, everything. It's a pretty jam-packed trip, but it's pretty awesome. Honestly, my editing process is pretty simple. I just sit down and edit whatever I want to upload that night. So editing for me is about 5 minutes on the computer, just choosing one shot, preset, up on Instagram. That's it. I can't do long editing sessions, that's just me. It's my personal preference. I have to think about this one too. I barely ever watch TV, but I got pretty into The Office when that was big. One thing I wish I knew earlier was to not shoot in the middle of the day because daylight is terrible for landscape photography. I can't do it. Like I can be on an adventure and I will not shoot between the hours of say 9 AM and 4 PM just because I know that the light is going to suck. So pretty much all my photos are taken in golden hour, and that's how I get my feed looking good and how I get optimal results from a shoot. Favourite photo would have to be one that I took out of the side of a helicopter with no door, flying over 3 capes in Tasmania. That was pretty epic. At sunrise too, with a 14mm, so I got the whole coast. It's insane. Yeah.
We were just talking about that. I was like, I'm trying to convince me to come up in a helicopter.
Oh, do it.
See the photo, I don't want to do it. With no door.
It's bloody freezing, but I was more worried about dropping my camera.
Yeah.